So, you're thinking about driving for Mesilla Valley Transport. Well, let me clue you in on some stuff. Don't do it, driver. Don't do it. And I'll tell you why. Because let me tell you how these silly motherfuckers have done me. This is the third day I've been with them out here. And I knew better. I should have known better. I finished orientation Wednesday, and I was ready to go to work because I had a load going from Nashville to Manuka, Illinois, just south of Chicago. Well, couldn't get my load going because they couldn't get me logged into this people net here. So they said, let us work on it. Go ahead and go home. Sleep in your bed another night. Come back in the morning and you should be able to log in. I was like, no big deal, because it didn't deliver until Thursday night. So, and it was supposedly a 24-hour drop and hook, deliver the loaded trailer, and just pick up an empty. So what happened was, I got there the next morning at 3:30, still couldn't log in. Had to wait for somebody to get there at 7 o'clock, and they dicked around and dicked around and dicked around. Finally, about 10 o'clock, they got it working. And in the meanwhile, they had somebody else go get the loaded trailer and bring it to the yard. So that was, that helped me a little. So then, I get the trailer, and I hauled ass in these slow-ass trucks that, oh, by the way, 63 miles an hour. If you come to work for this company, you will drive a truck that runs 63 miles an hour. They're all about fuel economy. That's all they care about. So anyways, I make it up there I left at 10 o'clock that morning. It's like 495 miles. I made it up there. It was like 9:30 when I got there. So, still, we can make it happen. So I get there, I go in, I drop my trailer, I go to look for an empty. I don't see an empty anywhere. So I said the little yard dog running around, and I asked him, were there any empties, and if so, where were they? And he said there wasn't any. And I was like, well, damn, that's going to screw me up. And he said, yeah, I know, right? So I come back out, I called the night dispatch, and after several attempts got somebody and told them what was going on. And I told them I'll bobtail over here to this pilot, and then I'll get up in the morning. It was only like a mile and a half to the pilot. And I said, I'll get up in the morning and I'll ease back over here and try to do it without my truck, putting me on duty. And which I was able to do that. And the next morning I eased over there. The truck didn't pick me up as, being on duty. I was still off duty. They still didn't have an empty. So I come back and I was trying to message the dispatch. And when I went to message the dispatcher, or my fleet manager, that's what they call him over there. When I went to message him, I saw a message from him asking me what was my trailer number. So how did he not know, that I, from the night before, that I didn't have, then there wasn't going to be a trailer, because they didn't have any. They don't communicate very well with one another. So anyways, I let the dumbass know that I didn't have one. So after some more dicking around, I was told to leave and go to Indianapolis to their yard and pick up an empty. Then take that empty back to Westfield, wherever, Indiana, to Miss Weaver Popcorn and get a load going to Scottsville, Kentucky, to the Dollar General Distribution Center. So whatever, it was like 198 miles. So I get there, I get the trailer, I go back to Miss Weaver Popcorn. Well, I didn't go back, but I got there at 3 o'clock that afternoon. And they tell me that the load, they were like, well, man, I don't know why they sent you. We told them that load wasn't ready. That load is not leaving until the 4th. This was on the 1st. So, 3 days, it's going to be 3 days until that load is ready. So I call and tell them this. And do you know that they argue with the shipper, and they have me sit there for 2 hours. And at the end of that 2 hours, I'm told then, hey, take that empty back to the Indianapolis yard. It's like 38 miles away. Not a real big deal. But, it's rush hour traffic. Take that empty back to the Indianapolis yard. Grab the loaded trailer and take it to the Memphis yard. Okay, whatever. So I do. And I go grab the loaded trailer. I'm going to take it back to the Memphis yard. While I'm on my way to get that loaded trailer going to Memphis, the fleet manager calls me and says, hey, I'm sorry and everything. I wish this wouldn't have happened, blah, 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 blah. And then he sends me a message, and I'll show you the message. The message reads, he sent me this that same day, yesterday, at 5:13. It says, once you're at the Memphis yard, I will have a trailer waiting for you. Okay. I'm at the Memphis yard. I got here at lunchtime, ran my ass off to get here so that I could be back to the Nashville yard with that trailer and be done by today at 6 p.m. because they wanted me to have a 36-hour restart and be ready to go again Monday morning at 6 a.m. for a Lowe's load that cannot be late. So I ran my ass off to get here. I ran out of hours last night. I had to stay at a rest area. Then I got up this morning at 8 o'clock and ran my ass off to get here in this slow-ass 63-mile-per-hour truck. Only to find out when I get here that the trailer's not here. So here it is now, going on 3 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon. The trailer still isn't here. The last time I talked to somebody was about 15 minutes ago, and they said that they were 93 miles away. Now, 93 miles away might not sound like a long time, but it is if one of these trucks is pulling it. So, make a long story short, I probably won't even make it back to Nashville tonight because my hours are going to run out. So, if this gives you any idea of how uncoordinated that these dispatchers over here are, man, let me just tell you, if you drive a truck and you're in it to make some money, you do not want to drive for Mesilla Valley Transportation. They don't communicate with one another. Their trucks are 63 miles an hour. You feel not just in their network, but the exact precise place that they tell you to fuel. You might go, they may say go to a pilot. You may be on a quarter of a tank, and they'll give you a pilot to go to, or a TA to go to, or a Love's to go to, and they'll say just get 50 gallons, and that's all they'll authorize. It's 50 gallons. And that 50 gallons will get you to the next place that they want you to get some fuel, and it just goes on and on and on. You may or you may not ever get to fill up. I drive by the mile. I don't get paid by the hour to run around filling this goddamn truck up. Let me fill it up. At your place of choosing, just at least let me fill it up so I can keep on going. And then on top of all that, they tell you the exact route you have to run, and if you get out of that route by 25 miles, they start charging you the difference, and they take it out of your paycheck. If you get fuel at a stop where they didn't authorize, the difference in the fuel, they take it out of your paycheck. I'm just telling you, man. You can come drive over here if you want to, but you'll probably be like me. It'll just be too much to take, and you won't be able to. I just can't stomach it. I put the 63 miles an hour behind me. Try to. The fuel stops and all those other things I was telling you about. But then when you put incompetent dispatchers on top of it, and you see the predicament they got me in here again, There's no way I'm going to be ready. I mean, I won't be ready Monday morning for the 36-hour restart. So I done called and told them I'm quitting. Just get me back to the yard, and I'm quitting. Because, I mean, it ain't worth it. I'll be in orientation for another company a week from Monday. You know, because, I mean, I'm not job hopping. But, I mean, you know, I just can't stomach it so much. And before you judge me, bring your ass over here and see how you like it. But remember, I warn you.